Okay. Alright, so this is the beginning of probably something like a 3-hour video, but the idea here is the easiest possible way that I could think of to beat Steel Soul, because I looked it up and there aren't really that many good guides out there, at least that I could easily find, or at least video guides. There's some for Steel Soul 100% or 112% in general, but just Steel Soul any percent, like I just want the Steel Soul achievement the easiest way possible. Obviously there's speedruns, but that's very much not the easiest way possible. So I feel like there's kind of a lack of this is the easiest way to get Steel Soul. So that's what I'm doing here. This is going to be one complete video. I'm also streaming on Twitch. I think the VOD will eventually go down, but it'll be on YouTube. So getting into it, there's a few things to get out of the way. Hi, I'm Palm. The reason I feel like I have the authority, I guess, to do this is because I've been playing Hollow Knight for a long time, like 3 years now. I have a 32-90%, which is fairly high level, although it's getting less and less high level as people get better times. But I've played quite a bit of Rando, quite a bit of Hollow Knight in general, quite a bit of speedrunning, and I know a decent bit about the game, and this route is going to be, in my opinion, the easiest way, so the least likely to die way. It'll probably vary player to player. Some people might find platforming easier, or might want to rush things more, or might want to be super safe and rush things less, etc, etc, but I think overall this is probably the best thing you'll find for how to beat Steel Soul without dying. So just, you know, how to beat Steel Soul. So without further ado, we'll get into it. Obviously, you need to pick Steel Soul. That is the first thing I can tell you. If you didn't know that, we might be in for a long ride. So yeah. The hardest part about Steel Soul, in my opinion, is going to be Watcher Knights. So if you don't know, you need 3 Dreamers to beat this game. The Dreamers are Lurien, Monomon, and Hera. And Lurien is behind Watcher Knights, and I think that is going to be the hardest fight and the hardest bit overall to do. I'm going to get Nail 2 plus Strength plus Shaman plus D-Dark, and that will be how we try to fight Watcher Knights. D-Dark is a lot of damage. It's mostly for safety. When you are D-Darking, you have iframes, which is invincibility frames, and that will help you get through a lot of this fight. Now, this first part I will glance over a bit. There's not too much to say in King's Pass. I'm not going to do too many speedrunning tricks. There's some Lifeblood over here if you want to be extra safe, but hopefully for this very beginning of the game, if you've played the game before, this shouldn't be too difficult. If some of this does come off it's too difficult in the very early game, I'd recommend playing through the game a little bit more. Like if you're having real problems getting over this and you're getting low on HP falling into these spikes, you probably want to just play more platformers in general, or play more Hollow Knight before you attempt Steel Soul. I think no matter what route you pick, it's going to be a little rough for you. Of course, you're free to try. So we're going to be grabbing Georocks on the way here. I have a little bit of a route lined out in a notepad, and I will be using that for the most part to go through things. But I'm also half winging it. Just so you know. I do know what I'm going to be doing. There might be times where I don't have enough money for something, or go back into a different room because I didn't realize that I was supposed to XYZ. But for the most part, I know what I'm planning on doing, and I expect this will be like 3 hours if I had to super guess. I don't honestly know, but you'll be able to tell from the video length. By the way, jumping through Dirtmouth up there is a little bit faster. You might see me doing some things that are just like speedrunning tricks in general. You don't have to do those things. This is not meant to be fast at all. This is entirely meant to be the safest route possible. So like for here, normally in a speedrun, you'd drop down this entire way. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go down safely. I'm going to check what's below me each time. I might get hit by a Grezzer or two. We do have 5 health, so I'm not too concerned about it. And again, I've played this game quite a bit, so I'm not too concerned about my own safety either. I just want to try and kind of demonstrate what I think is the easiest route. So here we have Aspidorina. You can pogo this guy 3 times and he will die. I missed one of the pogos. And then you want to be ready right here to hit this spike. So you don't have to do that. You can fight the Aspids normally. I think the easiest way is jumping up and hitting that spike to the right. Aspidorina is not too easy. I'm full health here, so I'm not going to bother, but there is a bench in this room if you want to go and heal. There you go. So up there's a Mass Shard. That will come in later. It is technically possible to get it now. It is very annoying and not worth it, especially because we need 4 Mass Shards to be able to have a full mask for it to be any good for us anyway. And we technically can get 4 Mass Shards this early, but it is not worth it. We're not fighting Moloch itemless. That is harder than anything else we'll be doing this run. So just go through here. There's not much to say, like I said in the early game. We're just fighting False Knight like normal. We are going to buy this stag, and you'll notice I have 44 Geo. That's because I've been not paying much attention and not hitting Geo Rocks. So if you want to be smarter than me, you can hit Geo Rocks. But the nice thing about this not being a speedrun is we can just farm Geo. You see I'm at 49. I'm going to exit, re-enter this room, and that enemy should respawn. And we'll just get a kill here, and that's 50 Geo for us. This is not a speedrun guide at all. This is just completing Steel Soul in the easiest way possible. It's going to be much longer than a speedrun. So here, if you have 50 Geo, you're going to unlock the stag. You're going to head back. I took that bench. You really don't have to. It's just for health. The other thing I didn't mention is we're not going to be using bench warping. You may have heard about bench warping. It is speed tech. So the idea is the game only saves you when you sit on a bench. So you can get something and then save quit and you'll end up back at the last bench you sat on. Some people find that's cheating for Steel Soul, so I'm just not going to do it. It doesn't really matter, it's just a time save thing. Here there's some Aspids. My recommendation is just run, free this grub, and get out. I took a damage as you can see, but it's a lot better than trying to fight those Aspids IMO. And we do need to save 5 grubs total in this run. We're not going to fight this guy because he's annoying, so we'll jump all the way over him. These guys you can weave through. Again, it's not a speedrun. I am perfectly fine just murdering things. But yeah, 3 hours might seem a little quick. It is kind of quick, but it's also because we're not... Like, Hollow Knight's a very long game because there's a lot of things to explore. We're not really going down those exploratory routes because I have a pre-planned route. I know where I'm going. So without all of the kind of exploring and going everywhere else, this game does become a lot quicker. Just keep hitting him. I'm healing out of muscle memory more than anything. We're not going to fight him the whole way here. We're actually going to do that later, because this requires some kind of creative damage tanks, and the False Knight fight can be a little bit dangerous. So we're just going to come down here. If you didn't know about that skip, now you know. After the first cycle, you can just hit that wall. We're going to go over here to Ancestral Mound. Hey, the Knight. We are just getting started on this. It'll be a pretty long video. Like I said, I'll mention it a few times. I'm gonna upload it to YouTube because I feel like YouTube's kind of lacking the kind of content for how to get Steel Soul achievement the easy way, or at least a video series on that. I didn't dig too deep into looking for stuff. There might be content out there, but I think this will be a pretty cohesive guide, I suppose. So this is Vengeful Spirit. There's some stuff to say about it. Vengeful Spirit is a spell. We are not going to be using it to do a lot of our damage late game, but for early game, this is going to be a lot of our damage. Our nail hits do 5 damage each time you hit something. So I hit him 3 times, that did 15 damage. This VS alone does 15 damage, so it is a lot of damage for us. We will be healing with a lot of our soul, because obviously we want to be safe, but we will also be using a decent amount of our soul just for VSs. I'm going to jump over this guy. You can even VS this guy if you want to be safe. You can VS this guy if you want to be safe. You will notice I'm running out of soul here, so I do need to grab some more soul. I can just hit this Vengefly or something like that. But again, this early game, a lot of it is, well, not precisely thought out, I guess. I'm not explaining everything I'm doing. You see I didn't come down here with nearly enough soul because I'm not paying much attention, so I have to kill these balders. Coming down here with full soul is obviously safer, but we can just stand here. Again, it's not a speed run. We can wait for this guy to spit boulders if he ever spits boulders. Okay, it's not a speed run. He does not want to spit boulders for me. So one more boulder will do it. You can just stand on the right here and kill this guy. Again, coming down with more soul, probably a smarter decision. Run over here, grab Soul Catcher. I did my first Steel Soul run, permitting myself to save quit at 1 HP. I'm gonna do a non-save quit run sooner or later. Yeah, so that's kind of what this is aimed at. Like a non-save quit run. I think it's still impressive to do Steel Soul with save quits, but I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's not legitimate or whatever. So, I don't know, that's the point of this. We're equipping Soul Catcher here. This gives us a little more soul every time we hit an enemy. Not a great charm, but better than no charm. We can put it on for free, so why not? Hit this lever here. We are going to go straight into green path. Without any like exceptionally difficult skips, there's really not much you can do early other than go straight to green path. So when I'm climbing this, I want to make sure to get full soul. We can hit enemies along the way. Your soul meter has 9 soul total. So you see I hit, I don't know, I think 7 enemies in this room and 2 before, and now I'm at 9. Something like that. This boulder is going to take 4 fireballs to kill just like the other one. So we can start with 3, now we have to wait for him to spit a boulder. Which could take a long time. Fortunately, third spit, well, third spit's pretty bad in general, but that's okay. A little careful on these platforms. We can go down here. Again, I'm using a controller. The right joystick, if you hold down, it will look down. You can see what's below you, just to be safe. I think the left joystick does as well after a little delay, yeah. But a lot of this is about safety. This whole route is built around safety. I genuinely think the hardest thing you will have to do in this route is this Hornet fight coming up. There's not a good way to get enough damage for Hornet, unfortunately. There are ways, but I think all of them are more difficult than just going to Hornet right away. It seems like damageless from my character being. I did do a damageless run actually once. I beat THK. Like I did the whole game and beat THK damageless. But yeah, I'm probably being a little overly careful, but again, that's kind of what the guide is meant to be. And I'm not really in any kind of a rush here. So there is a skip you can do here. You can do this. It's a fireball skip. It'll get you to Hornet a little quicker. I'm just gonna assume we don't have to do that, and we're just gonna go down here instead. Again, every time I land on a platform, I'm looking down. You can see that platform at the very bottom. I'm completely safe here. Hey, Jen. You can use the squid too, yeah. There's also a squid skip you can do. But again, there's gonna be no skips in this. No skips. There's gonna be one skip that you can retry a lot. I went the wrong way, by the way. This is the speedrun way, and I don't even know that skip. But there is one skip just because I think the skip itself is easier than doing it the right way. I guess this was a skip. You can pogo that. You can also come up here, slash this thing. This is the intended way, and then jump from here. Either or. Dodge these guys. So there is a grub down here that we are going to save. You're meant to have dash here. Oh, maybe you're not. Yeah, you can just slash this thing. Honestly, I never knew about that. Cool. And just slash these things on the way down. Pretty easy to save this grub. I'm going to wait for this guy to attack me and dodge him. And then if you are low on health here, there's a bench right below me. Hi, Asog. Ooh. There's a bench right in here. I'm not going to show it, but you can sit on this if you're low on HP. I'm at full HP, so I don't really care. We're just going to walk to the left here. Not too bad. There's also these kind of tricks for soul. There's a lot of speedrunning stuff. Again, I'll probably do subconsciously. You very much don't have to do it. If there's any major speedrunning thing that you have to do, which is really only once in this run, I will explain it. Otherwise, you can always just jump over these guys or whatnot. Again, I'll be showing this stuff throughout the run, but if you're low on health here, or low on soul, either or, you can come down here. There's a soul totem you can hit to give you a little more soul. Let's say I was missing 3, I could just hit this a few times and I'd be full soul. There is a bench up here, so because you killed that boulder, there should be no way you're short on money here. But we can, again, we got all the time in the world. We can hit as many Geo Rocks as we want. It might have been more dangerous to go in there than not to, but little things. Grab this toll. You can look down after it if you want to be fancy, except my controller's kind of jank, so it didn't work. But again, don't worry about it. Most things I'm going to say and then say don't worry about it. So if you can tune out like the specific half of what I say that you don't need to remember, that would be very good. I missed. Of course, the fact that I say don't worry about it after probably makes that a lot harder to do. So I want to make sure I'm coming in with full soul here. There is a speedrunning trick we can do with this guy. I'm not going to do it, I'm just going to show the easy way. There's also some lifeblood up here, just to be safe. But you should be... Okay, well, he's running away. Goodbye. Oh. This guy will die with 3 fireballs and 1 nail hit. So what I'm going to do is get close enough to aggro him. We'll hit him. Hello. We'll hit him. 3 fireballs here, and then we just have to get in 1 nail hit. So I can even just like spam, hold right, and nail hit, and eventually I'll hit him. I'm not too worried. You can also try to pogo over him. It's not too big of a deal. Run up here. So if you've played the game before, you'll probably recognize that we're approaching the Hornet fight. The Hornet fight is difficult. I honestly think that it is the most difficult part of this run, as I've said before. You can also hit him before he pulls... Yeah, you can hit him before he pulls his shield out. There's a few ways to fight that guy, but I'm going to assume you can get 1 nail hit on him within taking 7 damage of HP. And hopefully you can, because we're going to be doing a similar thing here. This is a lot of money, and we need money. So we're going to wait for this guy to be close. We're going to drop down here. We're going to shoot 3 fireballs. Now both of these guys are 1 nail hit. I pogoed him, and I pogoed him, and they're both dead. So I only took 1 damage there. If you just make sure you're hitting all 3 of those fireballs, it's not too dangerous, and you'll see we got like 200 geo from that. We really need the geo, which is why we're doing this. And then, even if you are at 1 HP here, just dodge that guy and you are home free. There's really nothing that can hit you now, until we get to this bench. No grub save? Yeah, I probably should save the grub, actually. We only need 5 grubs, so I'm not too worried about it, but I probably should be saving that one. Fortunately, we can get some full soul and do it again. There's a relic in here, there's a breakable wall. This relic is kind of a trap. This guy will pop up. 1 nail hit and fireball will kill him, though. If you don't know what relics are, we use them to sell to an NPC named Lem later on, and we need a lot of money, so we need a lot of relics. So this is one way to get soul. There's not a great way to get soul for this guy unless you go back around, but I'll go back around, why not? We're not going to get the Palor at all the grubs. We don't need 31 grubs. I'm just going to get 1 Palor here. I think there's a case to be made that you could get 2 Palor for nail 3. I think 1 Nailor... 1 Palor for nail 2 is probably the way to go. I think it's just a little bit safer and you really don't need the extra damage. It's not worth doing the fights. But we're not going to get the grub Palor. So again, there's the 1 nail hit, 3 fireballs is enough to kill him. Do this grub. Someone can ban whoever that is. Grab some soul here. Depending on how worried you are about Hornet fight, you can make sure you're going in with full soul. I'm not too worried, so I'm just going to walk. Hey, Ed. Now again, this is a very hard fight, especially for new players. My recommendation is whenever Hornet is staggered, you want to heal, and whenever she is not staggered, you want to get nail hits. You can practice this fight, you can try to copy kind of what I do, but the majority of this fight is just trying to get nail hits on Hornet as much as possible, and then using her being staggered to heal. So we'll walk in here, and we're just going to walk up and hit her. Walk up and hit her, walk up and hit her, walk up and hit her, run away. I'll use that fireball. I'm full health, so I don't need to heal. We're just going to keep hitting her, keep hitting her. We're kind of bullying her in the corner here, which is nice. That animation means she's going to nail throw, and we can dodge that. So just keep hitting her to the right. I got hit once, that's okay. She staggers here, we have time to heal. Just keep hitting, and there you go. Not too bad. Just remember when she's staggered to use that time to heal, and then other than that, you just want to keep hitting her and bullying her in the corner if you can. Yeah, there's Lifeblood in that Moss Knight room, that's true, if you want more health. We saw that Lifeblood earlier before we fought the Moss Knights, but you can get that before the Hornet fight as well. Hi, Brick. Hi, Gamey. So like I said, we're not going to be using quit outs. If you're watching any percent, this would normally be a point where you're quitting out, which is why I was kind of confused where to walk after that Hornet fight, but alas. Dash. That's a skill we have now. That is the whole reason we had to come to Hornet. Just be a little careful when falling down here again. Always look down first. You can make these dashes. They're pretty easy. You can make them by quite a margin. So you shouldn't have too much trouble with that. And we'll dash our way out of here. So, go to this green pet tag. We did already buy this. You could buy this now if you haven't already. It really doesn't matter. Ring the spell. And remember we bought that Crossroads tag earlier. So we're going to use that and go to False Knight. Yeah, I mean, if I had chat on screen, YouTube viewers could probably understand the conversations better. This isn't really meant as, like, invigorating content. It's much more meant as a guide. So, I'm sorry there's no chat on screen. Bad streamer. SMH. So you've seen this part before. We're actually going back toward False Knight here. We need City Crest from False Knight in order to avoid doing some skips and to help us get a lot of money. We have Dash, so this gets a lot faster, and we also have VS. And False Knight with VS is a very easy fight. The thing about hitting False Knight is False Knight in his armor does not give you soul. So if you watch here, well, if I didn't have full soul, I'm not getting soul from hitting him here. So what we want to do is when he's in his armor, we want to use these fireballs. And we can just dodge him when he jumps over. There's quite a bit of time to react. And then when he's not in his armor like this, that's when we use our nail, because we're getting soul from this and we're in no danger. Now we fireball, fireball, fireball. He's already dead. The nice thing about having Soul Catcher here is these 8 hits will give us full soul to do 3 more fireballs. And you can see it's not too bad of a fight if you just kind of deal all your damage to him at once. He really doesn't have much of an opportunity to hurt you here. Also, learning to count, very difficult. We 3-cycled False Knight. You do not have to hit him any more than that. You can keep going indefinitely if you want to. I promise it's not worth your time. You only have to stagger him 3 times. So we'll kill him here. We get 2 things from False Knight. We get this City Crest, which is going to come in handy, and then we get this 200 Geo, which is also going to come in handy. Now, if you're really greedy, you could go for Shaman Stone here. I would recommend not doing that, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do instead. So the nice thing about being in Steel Soul is we can use Fragile Charms for free. That is to say, Fragile Charms normally will break when you die, and I guess in Steel Soul they also will break when you die technically, but we don't care, because if we die, our run's over anyway, so we don't have to worry about it. These rooms not too dangerous. This guy can be annoying. You can honestly fireball him. He gets in my way a lot. This fall is pretty precise, but if you want, again, you can just look down, see what's free below you, drop down, look down, etc. Repeat. We're gonna go into here. I'm also very happy that this Geo worked out. It barely worked out, but it worked out. We're gonna pay 86 here. We have 380 left. And we are going to buy Fragile Heart, and we are not going to unequip this for the rest of the run. This is going to give us 2 extra masks, which is a very big deal when we're very worried about not dying. 7 masks is a lot safer, very much worth taking off Soul Catcher for, and you'll even see we won't be having Soul Catcher off for long. So look down here, drop, look down, drop, etc, etc. We're going to go to the left here first, and we're going to kill Shroomal Ogres. So this fight can be kind of annoying. We have 7 masks, so it shouldn't be too bad. I just recommend going toward one of them, and then when he starts bouncing his head, we say, okay, I don't want to deal with you. Now we go toward the other one, and then this guy will start bouncing his head. Don't want to deal with him either. Oh, he's bouncing his head, etc, etc. Not too hard of a fight, except unless, you know, you dash into just poison. That's probably not a good idea. And we're going to grab a Charm Notch from here, and this will heal us. Which is nice if you're on low HP here. And then again, because this is not a speedrun and very much a safe playthrough, we're going to go all the way back up to this bench just to put on Soul Catcher, just to be that little bit safer. So we have 4 charm notches now, and we have charms to take up all those notches, conveniently. So now we're going to go toward Claw. This is kind of the end of the early game section of this run. For most things in Hollow Knight, and you'll know this if you speedrun or watch a lot of runs or watch a lot of playthroughs, there's not too much you can do, at least casually, without first getting Dash and then going and getting Claw. There's really not many other options. There are Shade skips, which obviously we can't do, and I won't bother explaining because we can't die to spawn a Shade. You could grind for Geo really early to go to Lantern to peaks, which is extremely painful. There's some Fireball skips, but for the most part, this is always going to be required. I'm going to mostly breeze through this section. There's some acid there, but there's not too much that can hurt you in here. And as always, if you need soul, you can just hit these guys. This will give you soul to heal with. I'm just going to hit them anyway, because I want Geo. Down into here. There's also a trick called Epogo here. This is not CP Epogo. It's hard. Don't do it. I forget how to do the current patch version or the 1.5 version. I only know the very old version at this point. At one point I knew it, but things faded in and out of memory. So we're just going to dodge some Mantises over here. See this guy? We're just going to walk left, and that's very powerful. He doesn't know how to deal with that. Around to the left here, and we're just about approaching a bench, so if you're low on health, don't worry. We're about to get to a bench here. Again, I've played this game enough where I kind of know where those platforms are, but you can always take that time to look down. And we'll grab this bench right here. There is a charm through that. There's Sprint Master. We're going to grab it just because we do need 5 charms for a charm notch from Salubra. So we'll go into here. Easy charm. Oh, it's Dash Master. Right, I know the game. I promise. We'll walk back. So we're going to be approaching Mantis Village here. Mantis Village isn't too scary. The thing that's scary, and this jump's kind of hard, you want to pogo absolutely max height there. You can also dash to this first and then try to pogo. You'll have a little more height. But if you don't get it, you can always go back to that bench. You don't have to be too scared. Like I was saying, Mantis Village itself, not too scary. What is scary is that we don't have a bench for a while, so I'm going to be very aggressive in killing everything here. The little Mantises, as you saw, will die in one fireball. These guys are going to be a fireball and a nail hit. Fortunately, the fireball aggroes him just enough to get in range of my nail, which, you know, bad move on his part, but I'm not complaining. And again, I can just stand here, and he gets outplayed. We're not going to be doing Mantis Pogo. There's not going to be any real skips here. You can if you want. It doesn't hurt. If you don't know what Mantis Pogo is, don't worry about it. Just going to come through here, kill a couple of these guys just for safety, and run up here, and we're going to get Claw. So now that we have Claw, what we're first going to do is actually get another mask. We have a lot of masks right now, but we want more because we are greedy people. And 8 masks sounds safer than however many 7 masks. Yep, I can do math, I promise. Not gonna fight Mantis Lords down there. Definitely not really worth it in Steel Soul. Can definitely go wrong. I have died to Mantis Lords before. Come up here and grab this relic. This is a little bit of a, I guess, boring part of the run or walkthrough. We're going to be running around getting a lot of relics for money and a lot of mass shards for safety. So you can just follow what I'm doing. I'm going to be going to a few places. There's no real rhyme or reason to the order of things. If you want, you can just look up where the relics are, etc., etc. The order doesn't matter too much. Everything that I'm going to be doing in the next 10 minutes or so is pretty safe. There is the massive Moss Charger fight, but even that I don't think is too dangerous. So over here, down through here, we'll hit some Georocks, because why not? They're here. And again, we need 5 grubs. I think I have at least 4 right now. I got spooked. So, as I come over to here, I'm just gonna walk up through here. There is a relic above me. It is called Sporgs. I'm gonna go get it. You don't have to go get this. I don't think we will need the Geo based on like rough math estimations. And also if we do, you can always just kill enemies for Geo and be super safe. It's a little dangerous, but we can survive 3 Sporgs hits, so I'm just gonna walk up here and grab it. These are all just normal jumps. If you don't pay attention to the Sporgs, they won't hurt you. And then we dash at the end here. Even if that Sporg hits you, you're not in too much trouble. And then I'd wait here, wait till this Sporg explodes, and then we can run back and we're just gonna fall the whole way down. I don't even know this drop, clearly. I've hit 8 platforms, but not too dangerous. So that's Sporgs. And then this is our first Mass Shard we're gonna get. This is a little annoying. Fortunately, it's right next to a bench. There's a bench in this room, so you can heal if you fail this gauntlet. It's not too bad. Hit this lever and grab our first of... We're gonna get 8 Mass Shards this run. We're gonna get 4 for the time being. And we might even stick with 4. It might not be worth it for us to get that extra mask. I'm not really sure yet, but it's another thing where if you want to be safe, you can try to get more masks. If you don't care as much, you can get less. Importantly, we're not gonna buy that stag. We need this money. And by that I mean we are gonna buy that stag because we're gonna get money from MMC. Pay attention to me. I'm smart and I routed this, I promise. So we don't need to hit the bell or anything. The stag is now gonna be unlocked for us. We can climb up here. And like I said, the next few minutes are gonna be pretty boring. There's not much to say. Pretty easy part of the run. Just walking around through stuff. There's no real fights. Can I make this? Today I learned I can't. I'd recommend not hitting these guys. Even if you just jump into them and take damage, that's still better than hitting them. Hitting them can risk you for 2 damage. And these little guys are very easy to gather soul. This is a pretty safe area overall, as long as you're not too greedy with it. Going up through here, can dash under this guy. This guy's very annoying, so like I said, I'm just gonna try to go. If I take damage, I take damage. I'm not really gonna worry about hitting him. And then into this little area, these guys you can just be patient on. Once they're no longer zappy, you can just walk by them. And we need this for the relic, which is why we're coming over here. Some lifeblood here. I actually forgot, but sure, safe, why not? And we'll grab a Hallownest Seal. I'm going a little fast through this room, but as always, you can just take it safer. You have that lifeblood, so you shouldn't be in too much trouble. That seems annoying, so I'm going to go this way. Then up here, there's a little secret room. Stone Sanctuary Journal. If you just jump up through here, I'm wall climbing up here, and you'll just find this little secret room. Another journal, which is going to be very nice. If I could dash normally, it would be even better. We've actually been in this room before. Up to the right here is another bench. I have lifeblood, and just as a tip, if you sit on a bench, it will remove your lifeblood. So I'll show that here. But if you have full lifeblood, you don't want to sit on a bench. This will actually make me lose HP at the cost of, well, HP. Wait, that didn't make sense. Don't worry about it. We're gonna come into here. There's a few nice things for us in here. There's this massive Moss Charger fight. This fight is not that difficult. If he jumps, go under him. If he doesn't jump, you can just swing your nail constantly and he will die. You can use Fireball and you can heal in the intermedium. Like right now I could heal if I weren't at full health. But here I'm just swinging my nail. I'm not doing anything other than pressing the nail button. Let's say you mess up, you get hit. You can just heal here. If he jumps, hopefully he'll show that. Again, there I would hit him, but I just want to demonstrate if he jumps. Please? You're never this nice to me, friend. Yep, you just dash under him. And now he's going to jump every time because he doesn't like me. Yep, of course. But anyway, that's this fight. Boop, 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 boop. And he's dead. We did this for the Yeo. Again, this fight, or this route needs a lot of Geo. You come up here, there's a Sultan up there. if you don't have full health. Let's climb through here. A lot of these rooms I'd recommend, if you know where you're going, to kind of go quickly. You don't want to get caught up and take a lot of damage. And if you do go too quick and just take a few hits, it's fine. This is a pogo, so you just down slash this guy and then you get your dash refreshed. You can go back over here. Not too bad. There is nowhere really to get soul. There's that soul tomb I talked about, but this shouldn't be too much of a problem. Grab some Morgie over here, and we're even gonna grab the grub over here. So again, these are some pogos. If you don't want to do these pogos, we only need 5 grubs. You probably don't need this grub, so you could very much just quit out to the bench. But that's how you would get over there with pogos. And just to demonstrate, I'm not even gonna free this grub. Okay, that's fruit. I'll free this grub. And then we can look down, we know where this guy is. But if you don't want to do these pogos again, there are other grubs we can free, and I'll free one of them just to demonstrate. But it's really not too bad. I can't see, so I'm going to go over here till I can see. That pogo again, and we are all set. Don't do that. Don't just walk off into acid. Probably a good plan. Something to note, if you are watching this going for hitless, which I don't recommend doing, I would not do this route for hitless. There's just too much route. 3 hours is a long time to not get hit. I would do harder things with a shorter route. That tends to be easier for hitless and harder for just surviving Steel Soul. Also, it lets you reset a lot faster. You're not going to be 3 hours into a hitless run and have to reset. Run into here. Then there's a little trick you can do. Actually, I don't even think you have to do a trick. There's a pretty easy way to get this journal over here. And I'm just going through Green Path. We're just collecting relics. Nothing too crazy. I almost want to equip Dashmaster, but for the sake of showing you like what you should be doing, I won't equip Dashmaster. I just want to get through this part. It's not too interesting. So here, there's a few ways to do this. You can wall jump and then dash across. It's pretty precise. I wouldn't recommend that. You can also just spam dash to the left and you'll make it. You'll get your dash back. The reason this works is because if you dash from a platform, you'll still have your dash for the air. You'll see if I dashed from the air here, it wouldn't work. I don't have another dash. But in any sense, grab this. That was closer to the acid than I would have liked. And then you can either wall jump. Wow, my controller is sad. You can either wall jump on your way back here, or you can just dunk in the acid and you'll respawn at the top. So you can do that, or you can just dunk, take 1 damage, you'll respawn up here. Again, Soul Totem below me in that room if you're low on health. Just gonna climb through this room. We've been here before on our way to Hornet. We just now have Claw, so we can get a lot of those things that we couldn't earlier. Take this bench for safety. Some semi-fancy movement there. If you don't think that was fancy movement, then you're probably in a good place for this challenge. I don't really think it was fancy movement. I just wanted to hype myself up. We don't have to fight this guy again. We already did. We're going to be going pretty out of the way here. It's pretty long, but it's pretty safe, which is why we're doing it. Go past these guys. Again, if you want, you can just kill these guys and jump through the platforms. I'm getting a little more reckless because I'm getting bored of collecting all the things, but as always, there's much safer ways to do these rooms. You can just look for the enemies, kill the enemies, and then go through the room. So we're going to drop down here. Something important to mention is I want you to have full soul before you go down here. And what we're going to do is VS to the right 3 times. You'll see I got hit. I really don't care. And then we just need 3 hits on one of these boulders. So a little bit scary, but if you know you only need 3 hits and then you can leave, it's not too bad. There's a charm here that I guess we should pick up. My controller is actually dying. This is very sad. I need a new controller because sometimes when I hold right, it doesn't go right. And it is exceptionally sad right now. Here, grab the scrub. And from here you have 2 options. Or rather, let me get to the King's Idol that we're going to get to anyway. grab this, and from here you have two options. So we can either go up through cliffs to get to Dirtmouth, or we can go back to the Greenpath Stag. I think going back to the Greenpath Stag is a little bit safer, so I'm going to do that. But if you're comfortable climbing up and around cliffs, that's perfectly fine too. There is another journal up there, which would be nice to get. But I don't think we'll need it. Again, we'll see where we are with Geo, but we have a lot of relics at this point. I'm just going to run back to this Greenpath Stag. And we are getting to the point where we need masks. So there are 3 more masks that we're going to get, and we're going to get all of them pretty soon here. They're all actually in Dirtmouth. There is one at Brooding Moloch. I don't like that fight, so I'm not going to do it. I think it's pretty annoying without dive anyway. So what we're going to do first is we're going to actually go to Crossroads Stag, which we unlocked at the very beginning. And from here, we're going to go over to Salubra and Sly. Now, from Salubra, we're going to get Shaman Stone. And Shaman Stone is something you'll hear in speedruns a lot. It is very good. We are going to have Descending Dark. If you really wanted to, you could go back to Leg Eater, and I'm not paying attention to this fight. You could go back to Leg Eater and get Fragile Strength instead. I would highly recommend Shaman Stone, but it is your choice. If you're much more comfortable with nails, you can do Fragile Strength. This is just my recommendation. I think you'll find you get a lot more damage out of this with Descending Dark than you do with Strength. So coming into Salubra here, we're almost done with this kind of boringer part of the run. We're going to grab this Shaman Stone, and I'm hoping that gives us enough charms. Yeah, that gives us just enough charms to buy this Charm Notch. So we're going to do that as well. And then we are out. And now I'm going to equip that Shaman instead of Soul Catcher here. And like I said, we're always going to keep this Fragile Heart on. It is probably the best charm you can have for safety, doing something like this. Coming over here, we're going to free Sly, which has more dialogue than I remember. And then up through here. We're going back to Crossroads Stag a bit of a different way. This is to free a grub. I'm pretty sure I have 5 grubs at this point, but you might have missed grubs along the way. That was very annoying not being able to move right. You might have missed grubs along the way, so you can get this guy. I believe you can get him around the back. I am wrong. I might be right, but it's I can't move right, man. Oh, this is gonna get very annoying. So you can jump up here. Only a couple pogos will get you to this grub. Again, if you have enough grubs, you don't have to worry about that. And then we can just walk on back. We're going a different way, but we are pretty close to Crossroads Stag right now. Come down through here. Bad damage, but who really cares? Take this bench. We have our charms. And we're going to go up to Dirtmouth. So a few things we have to do here. First and foremost, we're going to grab a Mass Shard from Sly. Bench right here. And this is the cheapest Mass Shard he has. He does have more expensive ones, but we don't have nearly the money for that yet. So we will just take that. And I'll show you. He now has one for 500, but we just can't afford that. And then this is Lantern, which is what we really want, but we are a long way off from affording that, which is why we're collecting all these relics. Speaking of relics, hello Tiso. Speaking of relics, there's one in this well up here that you fall down at the very start. You can come back up through here, actually, and there's this little hidden room with a seal in it. And then over to Grubfather. And And we have enough grubs now where he will give us a mask. We're going to have to wait a little bit for him to give us some geo first, which is also appreciated. Now again, if you don't have as many grubs as I do, you might not get geo after this mask. You do need at least 5 grubs to get this mask. But if you're not getting any geo past this mask, that should be okay. We should be very over on geo by the end of this. And that's intentional. I want to be lenient on geo. So if you miss something, or I don't know, you don't want to get something, some geo seems too hard to get, some relic seems too hard to get, you don't have to. And I'm just going to fall down here. Again, we have 7 masks. We're not in too much danger. Through here again. Again, these are all areas we've been before, but we're getting to the end of this little fetch quest. Or, I guess not fetch quest. Cleanup, more or less. And the run gets a little more interesting, I suppose, after this. You don't have to be as greedy with these guys as I'm being. You can easily get past these guys with 2 dashes. In my opinion, that's easier than trying to fit yourself in between them. I think it's a little more consistent. You just dash twice, and you'll be fine. And then drop down here. And we get our 4th mask shard, and this will give us an extra mask. So now we're at 8 masks, and we'll probably stay here for most of the run, if not all of the run. I'm not sure if we want to go for 9. I think we might, but it'll be pretty late game where we'll have the ability to get those 9 masks anyway. So now we are finally ready to explore new areas. We're going to come back down here toward Fungal, toward Leg Eater. We've been here before. Again, we just can look down. I don't know what's below me, which is why I almost hit something, but you can be more cautious, or not. We have 8 masks now. We're fine. And then this is the Leg Eater bench. If you want to buy strength, you will need more geo here. It is 600. Again, my recommendation is to go with Shaman and Heart. I don't want to get 3 more charm notches to get all of Shaman, Heart, and Strength. You could get 1 more and take off Heart. I really wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, this is my recommendation. If you want, you can get more geo. You can come back here after selling to Lem, or you could not buy Shaman, etc., etc. I'm not going to show it off because, again, I think Shaman is the better pick. Can't walk right. Cool. Dash over these guys. So now we have that city crest that we got from False Knight the second time we fought him, and we're going to use that now. We're going to come over to here, and this is our access into city. So this is a little bit of a gauntlet here. It can be a little scary. You can follow what I'm doing here. It's probably the safest route. I would recommend dashing against this wall and then dashing again. The other way to do that would be going around, like, the intended way over those spikes. I think those dashes are a little bit easier, but the intended way would be something like this. You jump up here and then dash here. Both aren't too hard. This is the last tough dash you have to do, dashing between there, and then we can just wall jump, and we are done with that gauntlet. Dash past that guy. If you hesitate too much, he will hurt you. And that guy does 2 damage too, so it's really important to get past him. Same with this. A lot of these rooms, just going fast is going to pay off for you. Even if you get hit once, it's not too big of a deal. We're coming toward a bench here anyway. You can sit at this Quarrel bench. Say hi to Quarrel. We love Quarrel. And then when this elevator is still pretty high up, we want to dash to the right. And we're going to come up here for rafters. This area is a little annoying. If you want, you can VS these guys. They will die in a hit and a nail hit. Or a VS hit and nail hit, rather. And then just walk through here. If you fall, it's not a big deal. You can go back left to that elevator and try this whole thing again. But it's not too bad. Again, it's probably... I just missed. It's probably platforming you're going to want to know for especially peaks, but other times later on in this run. Boop. I missed. We're gonna talk to Lem. We have a lot of relics to sell here, so this will take a bit. But if you want to skip past this part, just sell every relic. That's all you have to do. And we're gonna make a lot of money here.
Opal, Velmi Artrit. Borver's son, Velmi Artrit. Opal, Velmi Artrit. Velmi Artrit. Velmi Artrit. Gacheo, Velmi Artrit. Borver's son, Gian, Velmi Artrit. Opal, Velmi Artrit. Borver's son, Gian, Helmadilka.
That's that. We have 4,000 Geo now, which is going to be more than enough for the rest of the run. I definitely went overkill on the relics, but they're not too dangerous to get, so you don't have to worry about it too much. We have to go down and around, because this is latest patch, except not this far down. I promise I know where to go in this game. I do not promise this. I lied when I promised. It's not like this is entirely the intended route or anything. Couldn't be. Okay, I'm actually lost. This is sad. It's here? Okay, it's here. Yeah, I know how to get through this room, for sure, 100%. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. Okay. He's been booped. Now we're coming up to Soul Sanctum here, which I've thought about. I think we're actually gonna want, we're gonna want to get our next nail upgrade before we fight Soul Sanctum. So we're gonna want 2 nail upgrades before we do this fight, and we're gonna go kind of out of the way to do it, but I think it's gonna be worth it overall, because most of the out of the way stuff we're gonna be doing is getting Crystal Heart, which we're gonna need eventually anyway. Up through here. A little bit of skips here, again, it doesn't really matter. I'd recommend going this way. You can also go to the left, that will get you to the same place. But this way, I think, is a little bit easier than the gauntlet to the left. A nail hit and 2 fireballs will kill him. Probably a couple more nail hits and he'll die as well. So yeah, we're not going to do Soul Sanctum yet. We're going to do some other stuff first, just to make our Soul Sanctum a little bit easier, because Soul Sanctum is one of the hardest parts of this run, and I want to make it as easy as we can. So going around here, we're going to get to City Storeroom Stag. And this run is probably, I don't think it's halfway done, but it's closer than you might expect. Considering we don't have any like big damage or any dreamers or stuff like that. We've kind of gotten a lot of the setup out of the way. You can pogo along those spikes, or you can just go the very safe way up here. So we're going to head into Dirtmouth. We're going to get Lantern. And that's going to be our access into Sea Peaks. Now, to finish the game, you need either Lantern or Isthmus. You're going to need one of those two. I think that Lantern... Sorry, Sea Dash or Isthmus is what I should say. I think that Sea Dash is the easier option. You might disagree, you might think that the Dung Defender fight is easier. That's kind of what I meant in the beginning when I said it might be easier for you to do movement, or it might be easier to do boss fights. I'm going to show the Sea Peaks route. I think it's easier, and I think Sea Dash helps us in other ways that Isthmus really does not. And I think the Dung Defender fight is more dangerous without dive. And if you're doing it with dive, then you have to have... well, you have to have fought through Sanctum, which, I don't know. I think that this is the best course of action. But of course, you're free to make your own route. This is largely recommendations in the same way that I'm recommending to have Shaman Stone over Strength. So we can climb up here. There's a Dark Room in here, but we have Lantern now, so we don't have to worry about it. And I'll more or less rush through peaks here. You can follow the route I'm doing room by room in peaks. There are much safer ways to do some of these rooms, and I'll explain the last room when we get to it, because it is more complicated than the rest. But for something like here, yeah, for example, you shouldn't go there. I don't know why I went there. Incredible. Some dashes along these. You can be safer. There's this cheeky little lamp pogo you can do, but it saves like 0.2 seconds. It is not relevant for this. Up here, there's a Pog strat you can do up there. I would highly recommend just going to the left. You can always kill these guys. I really want to move to the right, thank you. You can always kill these guys. Hi Blossom. Steel Soul 80% complete guide. That is what this is meant to be, yes. True. Climb up the left wall here. That saves you from a lot of the scary stuff here. And apparently get hit there because you're not very good at the game. You can just slide down the wall with these guys. You can also go over. You might take a lot of damage in this room. This room is very prone to taking damage, especially if you stand waiting for that laser to hit you. You can heal it off here. There's a place coming up where you're going to be able to heal it off a little better too. You can make this jump, by the way, or you can poke at this background object. But Peaks is a little scary, admittedly. You can kind of cheekily get soul off this guy by walking in and out of his aggro range. So that's another way you can get soul. I want to stay pretty close to full health whenever I can. And I'll mention this now, and I'll pause the game so I don't get hit while I'm mentioning it. Up to the right here, this is Shopkeeper's Key. So an option is to get Shopkeeper's Key, get Elegant Key, and get Shade Soul. I think that is genuinely harder of a fight than getting Dive and D-Dark to fight the Soul Warrior for Shade Soul. So I don't recommend it. It is very much an option though. If you want, you can just, what we'd have to do is go to Sly and Dirtmouth, buy Elegant Key, and then when you go back to Sanctum, go to the left and you'll find the fight for Shade Soul. I think it is more difficult than just fighting Sanctum normally, so I'm not going to showcase it, but that's an option. This guy you can up slash from behind or forward slash from in front, and he's a way to get soul. Hogax is always best. Hi, damn. Have you eaten Steel Soul? I'm curious. Here, we're just gonna fall through the whole way. We don't have inventory. I mean, we do, but I can't do them, so. Can I? I believe. Yo, I'm game. Okay, but you don't need to. No, but now I might have to. I believe it. So this room's hard. Like I said, you're gonna either need C-Dash or Ismas. This room is going to be difficult. This first part, not too bad. Just make sure you keep moving. If you wait on these platforms for too long, it's gonna turn around and hit you and damage boost you off the platforms. You might fall into spikes. It's gonna get scary. So you're gonna wanna make sure you just jump right past these platforms. This conveyor part isn't too scary. You just take it slowly. If you don't feel like you got a good jump, you don't need to jump very far, but just take it slow. Next platform, a little jump off dash here, and then you can either go to the right to this platform. By the way, when these guys turn around, you can pogo them to make them go back upwards. I wouldn't recommend it, but it is a nice way to like save yourself. Or you can just directly make this jump to the wall cling. When you get up here, take this slow, just dash right, dash left. And then this next part is going to be scary. There's a soul totem here, so you can get to full health. But you just want to take this extremely slow. I can wait for this. You can wait a long time. These two lasers are very annoying to sync up. I often get impatient. They will eventually sync up where they'll be both off at the same time and you can drop through it. These two lasers, not as bad. Then this is the rough part. For most of this, you won't be able to stop. If you've played Hollow Knight, hopefully you have some idea of how to get through this. You have 8 masks, you have 2 heals worth of souls, so you can fail this 9 times and still be okay. But we're just gonna go for it here. We wanna wait till these lasers stop and then we're going by. We can jump on this to make sure we don't get pushed to the left too much. You can see if I just stand on this, it's much more awkward. So I'm just kind of jumping to make sure I'm not where the lasers are. Dash to this guy. This is probably the hardest part. You just gotta get the timing. And if you do fail these, and you hit this, I failed to hit it. I'm failing to fail. It's not the end of the world. You can just get pushed to the right here, and it's not too bad anyway. There's a soul totem here as a reward, and then we are finally to C-Dash. that is almost certainly the hardest movement you'll have to do in this run. There are fights that I think is harder, but in terms of movement, it's not going to get too much worse than that. If you want, you can always practice that in a save that you already have completed, for example, until you're confident that you can do it within a few tries. Again, you don't need to do it first try, you can take some damage, you have a decent amount of health to work with, but for the most part, it's just what it is. You're going to have to get C-Dash that way, or get Ismas in a different route, which again, I think is a little bit worse. There's Crushers down here. Honestly, I'm not even going to go for those. We don't have to risk anything for any reason. Grab soul off this guy. If you need a lot of soul, what you can do is hit him and then re-enter the room, and that will reset his health. So now you could hit him again. I think it's 8 hits kills him, maybe 7. So if you hit him like 6 times, I could leave and come back, etc. I'm at full soul, so I'm not gonna bother, but just dash here. These go pretty slowly, so they're not too bad to deal with. You could go up and around the way you came through. You'll also get to this same room. We've been in this room before. We went up this way, and now we're just gonna go back down. And again, we can take things as slowly as we like. So that's Peaks. We will be back here later for D-Dark, but I wanted to get C-Dash first, and you'll see why in just a second. And we're gonna come out Peaks the same way we came in. Except this time I'm not gonna accidentally go up there for no reason. I was honestly very scared. I'm like, this is a dark room. Why did I lead people into a dark room? And then I'm like, oh yeah, we have lantern. This is fine. The times you go through this room in reverse in like rando or a speedrun is next to never. So now we're gonna go back down here. We can go this way or the other way. It does not matter. We're just gonna go back down to Sly and Salubra. With 8 masks, this is pretty safe at this point. I'm not gonna guide you too much through these rooms. I'm just gonna fail to fall through them quickly, as I always do. And now with C-Dash, what we can do is we can climb up here, and this is a C-Dash. So you can C-Dash from a wall, you can C-Dash from the very top of this wall, and you're gonna make it over to here. And this is a little hidden area. This is called Blue Lake, and this is gonna be how we get into Right Side City. And get our Dream Nail. So we have a little more to do before we start fighting Dreamers, but once we start fighting Dreamers, we're just gonna get all 3 of them and be done with it. We're largely not done with the setup, but we have a lot of the movement that we're gonna have. Go up here, hit that lever. You don't have to hit it through the floor, but you know, you can be fancy. This is a very safe area. We'll go in here and grab Dream Nail. So in terms of what we have left for kind of fight preparation, we are going to get a Paelor, then we're going to get Nail 2 with the strength that we already have, and we're going to get Dive from there, and then D-Dark. So the next few things we're doing are just for damage, and then once we have enough damage, we're going to be able to go through all the Dreamers without too much hesitation. Also, if I said strength, I'm not wearing strength, I'm choosing Shaman. But again, if you want to do strength, strength is an option you have. Okay, with my right not working sometimes, this is actually scary. There is a trick you can do up here. You can dash up to here, and then you can C-Dash from here, if I could turn right. You can C-Dash from here. It is scary at the end of the C-Dash, but you can always just cancel it early. Like cancel it here, for example. You can go farther, but I think that's a nice way to skip half the platforms. Also worth noting, if you fall here, you don't lose any HP anyway. Okay, I guess we're demonstrating that. I'm very scared of my controller not being able to move right, by the way. I don't know if I've made that clear, but I'm not enjoying that. Oh my... If you see me stutter like that, or just not move, please. Okay, I guess we're dashing. I'm in pain. Yeah, my controllers break constantly. I don't know why. I asked Scurry yesterday, and Scurry gave me a recommendation for a controller to not do that, so I think I'm gonna do that soon. It's expensive, but I'd like to not have to buy a new controller every 2 months. This is Seer. We don't talk to Seer. We can fall all the way down here. There's a soul totem in here if you're in danger. Oh, there's a soul totem up here a bit, sorry. Right here. Big fat soul totem. Hello, fellow controller user. We can see dash all the way through here, and this is how we're gonna get to city. I'm not gonna bother getting King Station Stag. Hopefully if you can move right, that's a little bit easier. I might have to switch to keyboard. I'm not gonna bother getting King Station Stag because it doesn't really help us, unfortunately. We're gonna have to dip into basin and out of basin anyway. These guys you can largely VS. You can get some soul off him cheekily. Come through here, this guy's not really much of a problem. And then all the way around. I don't know how that was interesting. Thank you, VS. These guys, I'd recommend just going to the right here and then getting enough soul and just VSing through this row. It's much easier than trying to deal with them. And again, there's a bench over there if you need a bench. I do not need a bench because I'm at full health. And then we have a nice little C-dash up here. So this is for a Palor. There's also a Palor you could get in Peaks instead of this. It is kind of a skip to do it without wings, so I'm not going to show it. This fall is a long fall. There is a route for it, but you can also just kind of slide down these walls as you're figuring out where to go. And this is probably the easier way. There are Ravas chasing me. I could kill them, but I think I outspeed them even going down slowly like this. This is a dangerous C-dash. You can dash this normally, or you can just hope you don't get hit. I'm going to hope I don't get hit. I made it most of the way, so that's nice. And again, a lot of things around here you can get soul from. So this is a little bit scary. We do have Shaman VS, so it's not too bad. I would walk up to this guy, hit him, and then walk back. I can't walk right to demonstrate. That's very sad. You can even hit him twice if you want. But I really want to walk right, man. Anyway, you should end up with decent soul there. I very much did not. I'll grab a couple soul off this guy instead. I'm jumping just to avoid his slashes here as well. But yeah, that's pretty fine for soul. We don't want to go up here and fight the stuff up to the left here. We're going to come down here, and our first priority is to kill this Moloch. We can take some damage while doing it, but we really want to kill this Moloch first, because dealing with one Moloch is much easier. So I'm just going to throw all my VSs. He's already dead, which is nice, and that guy's even dead. So really not too bad of a fight. And this is a Palor that we're going after. A fun little trick here, this is useful in rando too. There's a bubble right here. It's invisible, but it exists. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, it did. If you were smarter than me, you could jump and pogo that bubble and then dash to the right, and you'd be able to end up on that ledge. You can also do that, but that's a lot harder. But we missed all those. So we go back down here. We're gonna aggro these guys and then run, because those deal 2 damage and I don't want to deal with it. Aggro him and run. Little creative there, but hopefully you don't... Again, you can take some damage. We have a lot of health for a reason. Aggro and run. I'm just trying to avoid taking these 2 hits of damage. Aggro and run. Up through here. We already killed this Moloch, which is a nice benefit. And now we have to go all the way back. If you're low on health, I'll show it off. There's a soul totem down here, and even further down there's a bench. So if you really need the health, you can go down and bench for full health. Ow. Maybe I will bench for full health because I'm taking a lot of damage. Go through here. And grab this bench. So now we have to go back up the way we came. It's a little more annoying to go up than down, but at least we can see these little shadow creepers, so we don't have to worry about it too much. And again, this route is, like, if you're looking to speedrun Steel Soul, this is not what you want to do. There's a lot of going out of the way here. We're probably at like an hour plus, probably more than an hour by now if I had to guess. That was sketchy. But this is just what I think is the safest route. Go up through here. If I could jump, that'd be cool. Climb up through this. There's not too many enemies here. There are a lot of spikes, so just be a little careful when you're jumping around. But you want to be able to do these wall jump dashes. Not too difficult. Climb up this left wall at the end and then just make this big jump. If they hit you, whatever. I'll take 2 damage. Because again, we can always heal it off. We have a lot of places to get soul. So in through here, gonna grab some soul off these guys, do some pogos just to save some time, because why not? I hope I opened Lem. We'll see, I guess. This will give me a cutscene, yeah. Unfortunate. Hello, Hornet. We will never see you again. Have a good time. Did I open Lem? If I didn't, we can always just go all the way around to the left. I did open Lem, so when I came to Lem this first time, I hit this lever. If you didn't do that, because I didn't mention it, you can just go all the way down around to the left, do rafters like we did before, and come back through here. It's not a big deal. Also, I'm dumb. This is what I meant by the route not being room for room laid out. I need to go get nail upgrades. That's the whole reason we got this Paylor. So if you go all the way to the left here, you'll find the Nailsmith. And we're going to get Nail 2, which is going to change our nail from doing 5 damage to, I believe, 13 damage, which is a big increase. There's this really cheeky little pogo dash you can do, and you can see dash up here to get to the Nailsmith, but I'm not going to do that. We can just walk through here. Lots of places to get soul. These little Vengeflies, these guys, great places to get soul. You can just keep hitting these guys and running away. This guy's annoying, and if he's annoying, IBS him. Don't be annoying. You will get a fireball to the face. So, after this, we're gonna get this Nail 2. We're actually gonna go get Dive. We're gonna get even more damage. You could do the rest of the game with this Nail 2 alone. I really don't recommend it. I think Watcher Knights especially are gonna be what you want Descending Dark for, and I think it's very, very much worth it to get Descending Dark. And again, I think it was mentioned earlier, but if you want Nail 3, you could get 2 Paylor. You'd probably get 1 from Seer at 300 Essence and 1 from Crown, doing a skip up to Crown, and you can get a lot more Geo. I don't think it's worth it. I think the 5 to 13 is a big damage increase. 13 to 18 isn't doing you nearly as much. But you could. But again, the reason kind of I put together this route in, I don't know, half an hour or something like that, is because I think this is probably the safest you can do everything. I've gone a long way out of the way to get us a little more prepped for Sanctum, and now we're finally going to go and do Sanctum. Did I open this lever? I probably did. Oh no, I had to, right? Yeah. I can get right through here now. We've already fought this room, that's why I recommended going to the right earlier. If you don't have full health here, if you go down to the left, hi JX, hi Skate. There is a bench right through here. We've actually been to this bench before, we just didn't buy it. So if you don't have full health here, you can always sit in this bench. I'm not going to buy it because I have full health and it's not worth my money to not gain any health. But we'll go around and we're going to do Sanctum. And this is one of the scariest things you're going to do because you don't have your really good damage yet. I don't think this is doable in this patch. No, it's not. That's very sad. My recommendation is Fireball any of these Soul Twister, Spell Twister guys you see. It doesn't kill, but a nail hit will. Please let me move right. Okay, I lied. It's a Fireball and 2 nail hits or 2 Fireballs. I would take this room very slow. There's a lot of soul to gather and a lot of places to heal if you take it slow. Those guys die very quickly. I'm just going to shoot 2 Fireballs. I don't want to deal with him. Again, I can get a lot more soul for these Fireballs, which is nice. I can hit these guys for soul. There's a lot I can do. And I have a lot of nail damage. But we hit that lever now. We can go fight this. Hey, Evo. What I tend to do is just, when I see him attacking, I'm going to wait, I'm going to dodge the attack, and then I'm going to attack him when I feel like he's not, when I'm more comfortable. Because he'll do an attack, and then I have a chance to get a nail hit in. He'll do an attack, then I have a chance. He'll do an attack, then I have a chance. Pretty much all his attacks you can dodge by jumping, unless he spawns right above you. If he spawns right above you, you saw you can just dash left or right. Not too bad. This guy doesn't have a lot of health. You can probably just damage tank him with nail 2 at this point. Again, very safe with these guys. I'm just playing this extremely safe. When I see him firing, I'm backing away. 2 nail hits. Looks like 3 nail hits will kill him. Funny jump. So if you don't have full soul here, you can kill those guys. There's a soul container down there. There's one here. You really want full soul for this? You want to kill this guy. I even did an extra fireball, but that's okay. This room is bad. This is a hard room. So you want to take it slow. Again, kill things as they spawn. If I needed to heal, I would heal right now. I'm waiting for something to spawn. I'm just going to keep attacking him. You really don't want to let all these guys stack up. I mean, he's very much out of my way now, so I guess if he wants to survive, he can survive. You really don't want to be attacked by 4 of those at once, because you can start falling down those platforms and you can take a lot of damage, so you want to play that pretty safe. But that's probably harder than this fight right here, actually. That room is really bad. Soulmaster itself is not too bad. You have a lot of damage for Soulmaster at this point. The game intends for you to fight Soulmaster with something like Nail 1 and base VS. We have Shaman with VS and Nail 2, so we have a good amount of damage for this fight. When he does that from the ground, you can actually just stand right next to him. He'll always shoot over you, which is nice. He's staggered here. If I needed to heal, I would, but otherwise I'll just keep hitting him. For these dives, you want to jump. If he does that, okay, then you get hit, because I'm bad. But yeah, like when he does that from the ground, you're fine. This is a great time to heal. This attack takes forever to end. I could heal again here if I was missing more health. And then we're just going to hit him little by little. Keep moving left and right to dodge these balls. I find that a lot easier than jumping up and down. I stay on the floor a lot for this fight. I really don't jump that much unless he does that attack, which I have to jump, except I killed him, so I didn't have to jump, but you get the idea. But yeah, when he's firing those little energy balls, it's a lot easier to dodge moving left and right than jumping, I've found. But he can stagger or do those long attacks. There's always time to heal afterwards. You can stay pretty safe in this fight if you're careful about it. For this part, we're just going to dash left and right, and we're going to jump at the end, because then even if we don't dash far enough, you'll see even if I don't dash, I still won't get hit, because his damage box is on the ground. So it's very easy to dodge those, and then we're just going to do a lot of damage. I'll try to dodge those when I can, but I'm really more concerned about just killing him right away. And that's Soulmaster. So you're going to get a full soul refill here, so you want to heal everything you can. I'm at full health, so it's not too bad. But we're just going to make sure we're at full health, and then when we get this dive, we're going to get full soul all over again, which is very nice. So that's Desolate Dive. Fortunately, Descending Dark is actually a lot easier to get. Descending Dark is the second part of this spell. Descending Dark with Shaman does 88 damage if you hit all of it, which is a ton of damage. For reference, our nail hit does, what, 13 damage, and Descending Dark does 88 with Shaman, which is why I'm recommending Shaman. It is so much damage to be able to do. A lot of soul totems here if you need to heal. I would recommend being at full health or close to before going down through this part. This room is pretty annoying, but if you're just a little bit careful about it, it's not too bad. Just jumping up through here and we can get out. So we're done with probably the second hardest part of this run, in my opinion. Some people might find THK harder, but now we have Dive, and Descending Dark, if you've used it before in a casual playthrough, it's going to be a very safe and very high damaging spell. It is perfect for a run like this where we're trying to not die, where we need to do a lot of damage quickly so we don't have to, survive for very long, and we want to be safe while doing that damage. Descending Dark is perfect for us. Drop through here. Again, I'm just being a little careful here. I actually have to hit this lever to get this elevator up. That's fine. Go around. Then we're going to walk back to City Storerooms. We've been here before. This is the last time we're going to be in Left Side City. But yeah, next on our agenda is getting Descending Dark, and after we have Descending Dark, we are just going to blitz through all the Dreamers. We're gonna have everything we want for fights, and we're just gonna fight everything. I also really should have bought King Station Stag, I am just realizing. Yeah, that's a pain. Yeah, I really should have bought King Station Stag. Okay. Well, if you're watching this ahead of time and you didn't buy King Station Stag, buy King Station Stag so you don't have to do this crap again. It's not dangerous, it's just going to be kind of a waste of time, but that's okay. Go to Crossroads here. The nice thing about the order that we're doing things is this Crossroads is not infected, which is very, very nice. It is much worse to go through this room while it's infected. You see our nail is one-shotting everything now, by the way. Very nice. So that's why we don't have any Dreamers. That's one of the reasons why we don't have any Dreamers yet. So back into Peaks, we're going to get Descending Dark. It's actually a decent bit easier to get this than Crystal Heart. There's one kind of hard room. We have Lantern to make it as easy as possible, and again, we have a lot of health. Now you can look up health locations. If you want another mask, now is the time to do it, where we're kind of right before our kind of boss killing spree. You can get a mask shard at Stone Sanctuary, you can get 2 more from Sly, and you can get 1 from Bretta. It's quite a bit of running around, so I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go on 8 masks, but if you want to be extra safe, you could do that. So that's 2 from Sly. You might need to farm a little bit more Geo than we have right now, but you have just about enough. Then 1 from Stone Sanctuary and 1 from Bretta. You don't have to fight No Eyes, and please don't fight No Eyes in Stone Sanctuary. You can just go and grab the Mask Shard. There's no reason to fight No Eyes. So here we're just going to take this dash by dash, except I can't dash right half the time, which is very fun. But just platform by platform. Not too bad if we take it slowly. This guy's annoying, and what we do with annoying people, we BS them. Jump over this guy, and that's that room. Grab some soul here. We can heal a bit. We do need to have some soul to get down here, so make sure you have at least a spell's worth of soul. You're going to need that for this dive. And then again, we're going to take this room slowly. We're going to nail hit VS that guy. That's going to kill him. This guy should be 1 nail hit away. Now this room becomes a lot easier. There's a trick you can do with this guy where you can just stand here and dream nail him, actually. You wait for him to come back, and you want to time it right, and you can just get infinite soul like this. So you can heal up all the way, you can get as much soul as you want. Please let me turn right. Thank you. Go through here. Just keep jumping. It's a lot easier if you don't kind of stop for that guy, in my opinion. If you want, you can kill him, because he is annoying, and we do kill annoying things. I also just failed the last jump, but we won't talk about that. Just being safe. I don't know where he is. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, I mess up sometimes too. It's annoying, but that's why we have a bunch of health. Please let me move right. And then that's how we get D-Dark in a pretty painful way, honestly. That pogo doesn't work on 1.4 plus. Oh, that's why I filmed that. Thank you, I saw. So yeah, Descending Dark gonna be a huge boon for us in terms of spells. And we'll C-dash out through here. Don't fall down there again, you don't want to have to do that all over again. I already used that soul totem, I'm smart. Zero fight we don't need to do. So there is a bench to my right. If you go a couple rooms to the right, there's Resting Ground Stag, and you can get a bench there. I'm not going to because I feel pretty safe on 6 HP, but definitely something you can do if you want a little more health for this. You can jump over this guy, and that's probably the hardest part of this room. And we've been here before as well. We can go back down to City. If you have King Station Stag, which I don't, you can also go to Resting Grounds and then take the Resting Ground Stag to King Station. It's a little faster than what I'm doing right now. Again, these guys are annoying. We can BS them. Grab some cheeky soul off this guy. We've already done this, but just going back through these rooms. This guy not too big a problem. I got lucky with a double hit there. And then we're just going to go to the right here and just BS. we're safe. If he wants to die, he can die too. I'm gonna bench just for a little bit of safety here. Thanks, Carson. Chris. And then, like I showed before, there's a C-dash you can do up here. We are pretty close to the end of this, actually. We're probably 2/3 through or something like that, even though we don't have any Dreamers. We are about to blitz through all of the Dreamers here. And there is one trick I will show you guys. It's a little difficult, it's a little speedrunnery, but it's easier, in my opinion, than getting a simple key going into waterways or getting wings, etc. So here, what you have to do is pogo this, and then be ready to dash left right away. You can also do it on this little background object, but it's much harder. So we jump, pogo, and then dash left. Then we're going to have to wall jump after that. So you can do it on this thing. I failed it because I'm bad. But if you do fail this twice, don't worry. You're not soft blocked or anything. You can just exit the room here and re-enter the room. The reason I kept this in is because there's no danger here at all. You can't really hurt you'd have to really try to hurt yourself on this somehow. But you can just, please let me. You can do this as much as you want. And I almost had to do it again, which would have been sad. I'm not getting Ismas for this, so we're going to do the Fog Canyon Acid skip, is kind of the big skip that you'll have to do. You can see how badly I just jittered, by the way, if you watch that. That's me holding right. Ah, I'm in pain. We can bench here for health, although we don't really need it. I'd recommend trying to get as much soul off these guys as you can. You can just pogo here for a long time, unless you miss. Just keep pogoing. We really want full soul for this fight coming up here. And then I'd recommend just 2 fireballs on this guy to the left here, the guy right below me, right away. I don't want to deal with him. 2 fireballs and he's done. This guy I keep hitting in the front and then pogoing over. So I can hit. You can also dash away if that's more comfortable for you, but I hit and then I pogo. And I hit and then I pogo, etc. And I hit and then I pogo. So then I can stand back here and use fireballs, and he's already dead. Not too hard to fight. If dashing away is a little more comfortable than pogoing for you, that's also something you can do. Go through this room. Not too much we haven't already seen. Jump over that guy. I also realized I have D-Dark, which I completely forgot about. D-Dark would also be a very easy way to deal with that guy. You can just use Descending Dark. It's your down spell, your dive spell. It will do a lot of damage. Yeah. For Watcher Knights, this is probably the hardest fight in the run. We do have Descending Dark. I will show you it's not too bad with Descending Dark. You can definitely do this fight. First, we're going to come up here, and we're going to hit this lever. This is going to mean we only have to fight 5. This is not a lever. We're only going to have to fight 5 knights instead of 6. And I'll show you here what you can do. You watch this little orange stream coming down from the ceiling. Once you don't see it anymore, you start a dream now. And that will get you some free soul at the beginning if you don't already have full soul. And what I'm going to do is pogo D-Dark. He's done with his attack. I hit twice. I pogo D-Dark. He's done with his attack. I pogo D-Dark. I don't even need the D-Dark. He's already dead. And we're just going to repeat that for everything. So again, I can do the stream now. I can hit him and then pogo D-Dark. He's done with his attack. I can pogo D-Dark. He's already dead. Pogo D-Dark, etc., etc. Some nail hits. Pogo D-Dark. I know when to get the nail hits in because they're done with either their slashing or bouncing or rolling attacks. I'll walk over here. I can use this stream now, although it's a really weird idea, but just to show off, I guess. Pogo D-Dark. We'll see what this guy's doing. They keep bouncing and dodging you. Don't fret it too much. You can see I just got hit by like a million things, but I was in the D-Dark animation, so I took no damage. So I can pogo D-Dark here. Don't even need the D-Dark, and that's Watcher Knights. Really not too bad. The D-Dark and your nail does so much damage to these guys. They really don't take too much to kill. It's very hard to heal in that fight. I would recommend saving your soul for D-Darks. I think trying to get a heal in is probably more dangerous than it's worth. But that's Watcher Knights. That's a lot of the reason we have those 2 nail upgrades in D-Dark, just to make that fight as easy as possible. I probably made it look a little easier than it'll be with you. I also got pretty good patterns. But really not too hard of a fight. D-Dark does so much damage with Shaman. You can ride this elevator up, by the way. I'm just being an any % runner and climbing that. This is Lurian, our first streamer. We have 2 more to get. I'm too used to rando. I tried to... Don't worry about me. I'm fine. So again, if you haven't seen Lurian before, or you haven't you don't know how to absorb or something like that, You probably shouldn't be trying Steel Soul. I really would recommend beating the game first before trying a Steel Soul run. And even beating the game maybe like a true ending or see more of the game or something like that before you start attempting Steel Soul. It's not easy. Nothing individually about it is that hard in my opinion. It's just the fact that you have to do all of it without dying. You don't really get any kind of wiggle room. So now this is going to resemble any percent a lot. You don't have to be this cheeky with this elevator. You can just ride it down, but I'm using the word cheeky a lot. I blame May. But it's going to look a lot like any percent. We have C-Dash already, so we don't need to do anything going to peaks. We've already, you know, done that part. But we can just go to King Station Stag here. We will have to buy it, because again, I was dumb earlier and didn't remember to buy it. Other than that, the route's been pretty good, but yeah. Forgetful palm noises. Walk out through here, we can open this gate for ourselves. There's a bench right up through there to the left. We sat at it before. If you need health, you can sit there. But not too dangerous apart right here. We can dive through this floor if we want, but I'm just gonna save the soul, because why not? And then through here, there's a nice little C-Dash you can do if you cling onto this wall. You can C-Dash from here and get all the way to Kings. That's a fun one to know. We don't talk about it. Bench here, and then we're gonna go to Umu next, and then it's kind of on the way to Hera, which is gonna be nice for us, but it's gonna be Dirtmouth. Again, you have that bench, you have this Dirtmouth bench if you want it for safety. But yeah, the route's gonna look a lot like any percent right now, like I mentioned a few times, except we have D-Dark, which is very nice. And as you can see, we are quite a bit over on Geo. Didn't really need to get all of the relics we got, but for the most part, a pretty good amount. This room is very annoying, even as a speedrunner. This room, like, is terrible. People hate this room. We're just gonna take it extremely slow, probably kill these guys. Apparently they don't die to a nail hit fireball. I'm very sad about that. But we'll demonstrate D-Dark damage. They die to that. Okay, they don't. Okay, don't pay attention to me, man. They have too much health. I can't move right. Okay, it worked out. Whatever. So this room you can do safely, or you can cancel a C-Dash right after seeing this bench fly and then dash right. And that is another way to do that room. You can also just go platform by platform. You can be pretty safe. 100% you're going to want to kill this guy and these little guys that come out. Heal off of it. There's more soul over here, and I'm mentioning this for a reason. You kill these guys and these guys, and I have a lot of soul. This is the skip that I've been talking about. What we need to do here is walk off to the left and then C-Dash off that platform. It's pretty lenient, but you want to make sure not to C-Dash too early. If I try to C-Dash right away, okay, it worked. But you can see when I tried to C-Dash too early there, I didn't cling the wall in time, so I tried to C-Dash too early before I was clinging the wall, and then the C-Dash won't go off. So you have to wait till right when you get the wall. It might take a little bit to get the timing, and on the same vein, you don't want to jump from this side too early. If I go here and then I try to jump now, you'll see it worked because I spammed the jump. But the first like couple times I hit jump did not actually work. It didn't go off of the wall. If you hit jump too early, you're stunned right here, so you can't actually jump. Obviously, if you make this skip, don't continue hurting yourself for demonstration like I'm doing. But that's the biggest skip you're going to have to do. There's a lot of soul around you. You can go back to Crossroads for soul if you need it. But this is a lot easier than getting Shade Soul or Ismas or Wings and doing a different skip, in my opinion. Not Shade Soul, Shade Cloak. Going down through here, there's a pretty safe drop. You just fall against this wall, go all the way down. Go to the right here, go all the way down. You're gonna get hit once, apparently. I didn't know that. And then you can just wait for that guy to be low enough and just hold left and dash at the end. Or again, you can look down and go safer through those platforms. This is not a very easy area, but there's not too many rooms you have to get through. The rooms are kind of hard, but again, we had that soul totem on the way. And we're also gonna have a bench over here. Hey, Treman. You can pogo this if you want. I don't want to. I totally didn't. Grab this bench here. This is going to be Umu. So Umu's an annoying boss. It's not too dangerous if you're smart about it. Again, definitely something you should fight before, either before doing Steel Soul or as practice for Steel Soul or both. We're going to go over here and we're able to C-dash from here. Umu, you can take a lot of damage at once, especially without Ismas if you're not careful. But we're going to drop through here. If you've watched any percent runs or speed runs, you know you can Dream Nail right here. You're going to get some soul. I don't really need the soul. And we're going to lure Umu down to the right here. And now this attack, you just want to keep moving. It does not matter where you move as long as you're moving. The other attack, you want to stand in place where there's not any, you know, sparkly lightning damage things. And these little side platforms, great places to stand. There's never going to be lightning on these, which is really nice. So we lure Umu over here, and again, our D-Dark, it does so much damage. We're just going to D-Dark, we're going to Pogo D-Dark. That D-Dark didn't hit, that's okay. We're not interested in getting quick cycles for Umu. Now this is the attack we have to move again. We are just interested in doing a good amount of damage. And just dodging these attacks. So again, standing right here, pretty safe. I don't really have the soul to do too many D-Darks. So I'm going to Pogo a couple times, then I can do one. I can't really reach Umu down there, but that's okay, we're being safe. If I needed to heal, I could heal right here. That was the sketchiest safe I've ever seen, but I didn't get hit, so sure. And now we keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Umu has a good amount of health, 300 total. Your D-Dark does max 88 if you hit every part of it, but we also have a good nail. We'll eventually get there. Yeah, unfortunately not that cycle, but we're pretty close. So keep moving, keep moving. I haven't gotten hit during this fight. These attacks, there's only 2 attacks. If you learn how to dodge both of them, you're really not going to take much damage from Umu. And learning how to dodge this one is just standing in place, which is very impressive. Sometimes Umu will give you 2 attacks, sometimes Umu will give you 3. There's a chance to get 4 in the first cycle, but don't worry about it too much. You'll see Umu slow down and Quarrel come in, and then, okay, it was 1 nail hit away. But yeah, not too scary a fight, just annoying, can be a little long, just be patient with it. Once you know how to dodge those attacks, you're completely set for that fight, and it really can't do too much to you. So we're going to fall down this right side, and then what I'm doing here is I'm spamming C-dash just off and on to go down just a little bit at a time. You can try to just time it perfectly, or get the perfect height. I like doing this. Make sure that your head, the top of your head, is below this little thing down here. And once that's the case, so this is definitely low enough, you can C-dash, and then again, you can't jump right away, but you want to time it and you want to jump off this wall. And then you're fine going up here, there's nothing that can hurt you. That acid can be scary, so just a warning. Yeah, I mean, dying to Umu with D-Dark is reasonable. D-Dark does not help you as much with Umu as some other Void spells or like good nail damage. It's honestly not very good for Umu in particular, but I don't think Umu is that difficult. I think Watcher Knights and THK are the things that you really want to be able to deal with, and D-Dark does a great job at dealing with those. Plus Nail 2, like, eventually you'll get through Umu. I don't know what 300 divided by 13 is, but you'll get there. What, 310? It's like 30 hits? Less than 30 hits? I don't know, 25 or something like that. It's a lot, but you want to throw in some D-Darks and you'll have enough damage. So this will give you full health. I think I had full health anyway, but you'll get a full health reset off this, which is nice. We're going to come down here, and then we're going to get out just the way we got in. Go to this left wall, C-dash out, make sure your head's low enough, and we can just run up here. If I could turn right. This is the last Hollow Knight I'll be playing for like a week, because I'm very annoyed that I can't turn right. Getting some soul there. You can do a little pogo here if you want to be fun about it. I said fun instead of cheeky. I'm defeating Mei. Go out the right side. It's a little bit safer than trying to go through the left side, but either way, you have a bench right up here. You shouldn't be in too much trouble. Alright, so now we're going to go through Deep Nest. If you've watched any percent runs, you might know about QGA. We are 100% not doing that. We're going to go down around through Deep Nest. Deep Nest might sound scary, but we have a lot of damage, we have a lantern, we have a lot of health, and there's a bench on the way. You can see I'm even being a bit reckless here because I know I'm coming toward a bench anyway. So you don't have to be too worried. Lantern's going to help you a lot. And then not getting lost in Deep Nest. The way that you die in Deep Nest is you just get very lost, don't know where you're going, get hit by everything. That's the scary part about Deep Nest. But just going there with knowing where you're going, with Lantern, with a lot of health, really not too bad. We're going to go in through this way. It's a bit of a secret way. You're more meant to get out this way than getting in this way. But just as kind of a check to where we are. We have 2 out of 3 Dreamers, so this is the last Dreamer we're going to need. And then fortunately for us, there's a stag right by this last Dreamer, so we can just go immediately out to Dirt Myth once we get it. Unnecessary pogos. There's a nice little C-dash here to save you some time and the hassle of dealing with those bouncy things. So there's a breakable wall there, and then we're going to have to C-dash. You notice the floor is not breaking. We're going to have to go all the way to the left to around here, and then go back, and the floor will break for you. Down around through here. So this is some Deep Nest. You see these little guys spawning behind me. They can be very annoying. I don't want to deal with them. So I know where to go right away. You can go left or right here. It's the case for... Please let me move. It's the case for both of those. You can heal in here where there aren't these little Garpedes. They can be annoying, but if you just take your time, you shouldn't get hit like I did. Just wait for them to pass by, and then I'll go down. We got all the time in the world here. Let's go through. Again, those dirt carvers are spawning, so I'm going to go a little faster. I don't really want to have to deal with them. So we go down some more. Just keep going down, down, down after Spore Shroom until you get to the Hot Springs bench. It's hard to get lost at this beginning bit. The next part is a little easier to get lost, but I'll guide you through kind of what rooms you need to go through. Over around through here, and that's it. We're going to be at the Hot Spring bench here with full health. There's a bench here, and there is a Hot Spring here. Both of those are very convenient. You can rest in this Hot Spring, and this will heal you, well, give you soul up to full. The bench will heal you up to full, so you have no reason to not come out here with full soul and full health. This guy is very annoying to try and get over. I recommend just hitting him twice. Pretty much anyone here, it's really nice to just hit twice. Very easy, not very risky, you get some soul from it. There's 2 guys here, a little scary, so I'm just going to D-Dark. That does a ton of damage like we mentioned, so it should be fine. This room, take very slow. There's a lot of spikes in this room for no reason. Like this little bit, I can't push right, man. I wanted to slide down the wall, but this little bit, stop. Okay, I will explain it from up here. This little bit is a pretty tight jump. What you can do is dash to the wall and then hold nothing. So I dash to the wall and then I'm not holding anything here, and I'll just fall down without getting hit. This dash, a little precise, but not too bad. And then this one, not too bad at all. Don't go up there. We're just going to keep going left. We're going to go up here. This is to avoid this Devout down here. We don't want to deal with him. So that's the first room of Dark Deep Nest. There are 2 more. This room is pretty long. I recommend killing stuff on the way. You have pretty good nail damage here. It's going to make it a lot less risky for you if there's an enemy up here and I have to run back, or an enemy back there and I have to run forward. It's nice to kill things so you don't have too much to deal with at once. Kill this guy. So this is your first jump. Not too bad. Second jump. Third jump. You don't want to fall down into the pit below here. If you do, you just have to restart the room. It's not too bad. I'll show. If you fall down here, we're just going to go back to the right. Some spiders spawn. That's annoying. And then we're just back where we started here, and we just have to do it again. And that's okay. So it's not the end of the world to fall down there. Just, you got to get these jumps. We'll go over here. These floors break a lot. You can see all of them breaking under me. So you want to go really fast through this part, or you're going to have a lot of spikes to deal with. You just want to go up here. And then again, just really fast through this part. See these floors breaking, up through this part, and that's the end of this room. That's probably your hardest, or certainly your hardest Deep Nest room that you're gonna have to deal with. This room, there's 1 enemy that spawns. You can go over here to force him to spawn, and then just kill him. There's also a spider on the wall, but we're gonna kill him very easily. This floor breaks, so be careful about it. There's spikes down there. And then we're gonna have to climb this right wall He's going to be very annoying shooting at you. What you can do is kind of cheekily kill him here if you want. It takes a little time. Actually, it's only 2 nail hits, right? Yeah, so it's not too bad to do that. However you want to get through that. Go down here. There's a nice C-dash to the right wall here if you want. Otherwise, you can just dash through. They're both perfectly fine, but the floor does break here, so be a little careful. A lot of breaking floors in Deep Nest. And now we're pretty safe. 100% do not fall down. Be very cautious about that. You can't really C-dash from up there. So you really want to be careful about this dash. And then you can just take these really slowly. You really don't want to fall down. You're going to have to go back up and around to get here. So just be super safe. Cheeky. There's a bench here. If you've played Hollow Knight, you know what happens next. Fortunately, we're at full health. We are very much equipped to deal with Beast Den. And it's the last thing we're going to have to do before fighting the Hollow Knight, completing the game. So it's nice. We haven't really been close to death at all. I'm trying to think. The closest I got to death was probably the room with D-Dark. Some of that was controller, some of that was just me. But yeah, there's only one enemy there. It just took, I think, 2 or 3 hits to kill. It wasn't too hard. And there's a lot of soul that you can heal off of. So we're going up here. The way to deal with these Devouts, I'll wait until he's calmer, because he's being a bully right now. We're going to walk up right into his face and D-Dark. If that doesn't kill him, we're going to D-Dark again, and then he is dead. So we're going to make sure there's one more of those Devouts we're going to have to kill. We're going to make sure we have enough soul to do that again. Just be careful with these eggs. Killing the spiders. Can't move right, so we will C-dash right instead, I guess. There's a spider up here. We can just VS him. They will die to a VS or 2 nail hits. Your VS does 20 damage now because you have Shaman, and Shaman increases spell damage. So that will one-shot them, and your nail does 13, so that will 2-shot them. So just really easy nail kills. Don't have to worry too much. I failed that jump, but it was fine because I'd already killed the spider. Same thing here. Just very careful. Okay, me too. These little kills. This floor in front of me breaks, which is why I'm kind of jumping from the left here to up-slash him. But it's easy enough. Right wall, left wall. We're most of the way through Beast Den already. Grub here. Forced to save him. You must. Couple hits here. Easy enough. So now we have another Devout. You can actually dash over this guy. I'm gonna show what happens if you kind of fail to dash over this guy. You can just dash like this. If that's a problem where he backs up a lot, we can just do our D-Darks here like we did before. Again, wait for him to attack me and I'll just D-Dark his face. Now we actually don't have enough damage to kill this Devout because we're low on soul, like you see. So I'm going to do my first D-Dark here, and I'm going to be really careful. Dash away here. Those slashes do 2 damage, so you want to be really careful. And I'm going to walk up to him, and when his face opens, I'm going to slash him and dash away right away. So I'm going to wait here until his face to open. Wait. His face opens, hit him, and then dash away. And I'm just going to keep doing that super safe. You can even get 2 hits in, technically, but I wouldn't recommend it. And you see he's already dead. So not too bad. Again, if you dash over that second bout, then you're going to have enough damage easily to kill that last guy that I was dealing with. Without having to hit his face or anything, we can just walk up D-Dark him. So yeah, that's the last streamer. So now all we have left is THK. For THK, my general advice is kind of similar to Watcher Knights. You do want to have fought him a couple of times just to know what it's like. But you're just jumping, pogoing, and D-Darking, just on repeat. Your D-Dark does a lot of damage, and you're really only pogoing just to get enough soul to do more D-Darks. But yeah, having fought THK before helps a lot. I wouldn't go into it super blind. Again, there might be some nerves at this point if this is their first time doing Steel Soul. So you could go into another save and just kind of practice the THK fight, force yourself to just keep using D-Dark on him. Getting out of here, very easy. You're going to get a full heal anyway, but there's really nothing that can hurt you at this point. And again, we're back in this room. You want to be really careful here not to fall down. Just take it safe. Take platform by platform. Over to this guy, and then we're fine. If you don't have Geo here for whatever reason, you can go back into Beast Den. You can kill the Devouts. They give you quite a bit of Geo. There's some Geo rocks around. And there's a bench in Beast Den that I'll actually show. just in case you need Geo and you're farming Devout, say, and then you're running out of health. There's a bench. We went right by it, but I'm just going to show it on the way out here. This guy, you can always sit in this and then go back and kill more Devouts. Get some Geo Rocks. You need 250 for the stag if you don't already have it. And again, just really careful through here. We really don't want to fall in this room. So going around through here, we're going to go back to Dirtmouth. This is the last time we'll stag. And yeah, the THK fight, when he is staggered is when you want to heal. You cannot Dream Nail him at all. I know I showed that kind of weird strategy with the Watcher Knights. That's not going to work on THK at all. But yeah, you just want to Nail Hit and Descending Dark, and Nail Hit and Descending Dark, Nail Hit, Descending Dark. If you ever feel like you're in trouble, just Descending Dark. You get about 0.8 seconds of iframes, something like that. It might even be more with a D-Dark, so you're very safe. You're not going to get hit while you're in that D-Dark animation. You can do all the damage you want to him, you can be inside his hitbox, and you're perfectly safe. So I don't have full soul here. If you were really kind of nervous about it, you could make sure you go and get full soul from Crossroads. I'm not too worried. Again, like I mentioned earlier, if you want the masks, you can get 2 from Sly, 1 from No Eyes, and 1 from Bretta. Those would be the 4 mask shards I'd recommend if you want another Mask of Health for this. I wouldn't really recommend Nail 3, but you could do it. I wouldn't really recommend Strength, but you could do it. I wouldn't really recommend getting 3 Charm Notches to equip Strength and Shaman, but again, you could do it. I just think at that point you're kind of introducing more danger than you're actually helping yourself. So I'm just going to Nail Slash him. You can always jump. Jumping is pretty safe against this fight. You can see he parried, but I was safe because I jumped. And I'll D-Dark. I didn't hit that D-Dark, but that's okay. I don't know what he did there. You can jump, you can D-Dark, you can Nail hit him. So that's all it is. It's a bunch of nail hits, jump, see me pogo there, and D-Dark. Nail hits, he's gonna attack me, so I'll jump. I can't move, so that's unfortunate, but D-Dark. He's staggered here, and I have the soul, so I'm just gonna heal. I can chase him and keep nail hitting. You see, every time he starts some attack, I just jump. I didn't know if he was gonna attack. I can jump there, I can D-Dark. You see I'm in his hitbox, it doesn't even matter, because that D-Dark is so safe. You get so many iframes from it. Here, when he's stabbing himself, you can only deal 1 damage at a time to him. Like I mentioned, your D-Dark deals 88. It's a huge waste to use it, so I would just recommend getting full on soul. He's going to be staggered. If you need to, you can heal. And just keep doing these jump pogo D-Dark, you know. Nail hit him, again, only 1 damage, so I'm just going to get full soul. He can D-Dark. He can D-Dark. It's just a bunch of pogoing, D-Darking. That's about it. It's pogoing, jumping, and D-Darking. Jump, D-Dark, whatever. You can pick your favorite. You want to pogo, you want to jump, you want to D-Dark, you can do it all. And there we go. And that is Steel Soul. I don't know how long it was, but I assume it's under 3 hours. And that would be my recommended route for getting through Steel Soul. Anyway. Thanks for watching. I'm not playing Hollow Knight for the next 6 days because I'm upset at my controller. Stream is under 2 hours? Yeah, so you're under 2 hours with that. It might take you a little longer, you might get a little more. You might even be a little faster than I was. You don't need to do a lot of kind of the explaining that I did, and some stuff you can maybe skip or get less relics, etc, etc. Yeah, good luck, and thanks for watching, and goodbye.